All right, let's get into it. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most curious phrases in the entire Bible, a moment where it sounds like nature itself is about to, well, find its voice.
Yeah, if they keep quiet, the stones will cry out. I mean, it sounds so poetic, right? But it's also really strange. What could Jesus possibly mean by this? Are we talking about rocks literally shouting? Let's figure it out.
Okay, so to really get this, we have to rewind. We've got to go back to the exact moment these words were spoken. We need to set the scene for what's famously known as the triumphal entry. So I want you to picture this. It's about a week before the crucifixion. The place? Jerusalem, the heart of everything. And Jesus is riding into the city. But he's not on some big, intimidating war horse. He's on a humble donkey's colt. And the atmosphere is just electric. Seriously, this is not some quiet little event. We're talking huge crowds of people. You can just feel the buzz, this incredible excitement and celebration in the air as they see him coming into the Capitol. And these people aren't just waving. Oh no, they are shouting. They're shouting praises, and what they're saying is super specific. They're calling him the King who comes in the name of the Lord. You have to understand, in that time, in that place, that was an explosive thing to say. It was political, it was spiritual, it was a massive declaration. But as you can probably guess, not everyone in the crowd was thrilled to hear this kind of talk. This huge public display of worship, well, it sparked immediate controversy, and that leads to a direct confrontation. And the contrast here is just, wow, it's stark. On one side, you've got the crowds, right, shouting the highest praise they can think of. But on the other side, you've got the Pharisees, the religious leaders, and they see this as straight-up blasphemy. They are so offended that they march right up to Jesus and demand he shut it all down. They're basically saying, "Teacher, you have to rebuke your disciples." So, this is it. This is the pivotal moment. Jesus is getting a direct challenge from the authorities. Silence your followers, they're telling him. So, how is he going to respond? He doesn't back down. He doesn't tell them to quiet down. Instead, he gives this absolutely incredible, kind of mysterious reply. He just looks at them and says, "I tell you, if they keep quiet, the stones will cry out." And boom, that brings us right back to the question we started with. All right, so let's unpack what he actually meant by this, because this is the key to the whole story. So the first question on everyone's mind is, was he being literal? Did he actually mean the rocks on the side of the road were going to sprout mouths and start singing? Well, the short answer, according to most scholars, is probably not. See, what Jesus was using here is a really powerful tool. It's called a proverbial expression. It's kind of like when we say it's raining cats and dogs. You don't actually run outside looking for puppies, right? It's a way to communicate a really deep truth by using an impossible figurative picture. The whole point isn't the image itself, but the deeper reality it's pointing to. And this is where the logic just clicks into place. The main point, the crucial point, is that the praise was necessary. It wasn't optional. You have a king entering his capital city. That moment demands honor. So the praise wasn't just, people's opinion. It was the only appropriate response to what was actually happening. So Jesus gives them this hypothetical. Okay, what if the people did shut up? His answer is basically this. It would be more likely for the laws of nature to literally break, for stones to find a voice, than for this king to show up and not be praised. He's saying the worship is woven into the very fabric of reality. It's inevitable.
Okay, let's keep going, because this idea, this inevitable chorus, it isn't just a one-off thing. It's actually a theme that you see echoing all throughout the scriptures.
The deeper idea here is that everything in creation, in its own unique way, was made to point back to God's glory. It's almost like the universe is this giant cathedral, and everything inside it, from the stars all the way down to the stones, has a part to play in the song. Yeah, humans are supposed to be the lead singers, but the music, well, the music goes on, with or without us. I mean, just listen to this incredible imagery from the prophet Isaiah. It's not literal, of course, but it just so powerfully paints a picture of a universe that's just overflowing with joy and praise. Mountains bursting into song, trees clapping their hands. It's that same poetic idea, right? And you see it again in the Psalms, where it says the mountains leap for joy. It's this recurring idea that the physical world isn't just some silent, boring backdrop for our lives.
And then you get to Psalm 148, which gives us this amazing list calling on literally everything to give praise. The sun, the moon, the stars, the heavens, the water, the sky, even the animals, and then finally people. It's this beautiful picture of a huge cosmic symphony of praise.
Okay, so now, with that big cosmic picture in your head, this idea that all of creation is just ready to sing, the story back in Jerusalem takes a final, really poignant and kind of ironic twist.
Just think about the timeline here. On Sunday, you have this massive crowd shouting praises for their king. But that thing Jesus said, if they keep quiet, it wasn't just a hypothetical anymore. It became a tragic reality. Because just a few days later, those same voices, they do fall silent. And by Friday, the praise isn't just gone. It's been replaced by this absolutely terrifying roar. Crucify him. The human voices didn't just stop praising, they started calling for his death.
And this is what we're left with, a really fascinating question to think about. That statement about the stones crying out, it wasn't just some clever comeback to the Pharisees. It was a declaration that praise is a fundamental part of the universe. It's so fundamental that if our voices, human voices, were to fail, the most lifeless, inanimate objects would have to step in and fill that silence. So it kind of makes you think, right? If all of creation is ready to give praise, what does that say about our own voice?